get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Say hello to somebody around you. Get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right.
Wow. Wow, I can feel the energy in this room. I guess you guys are all ready for the big day. How many of you are coming back tonight? Oh, wow. Double dippers. That's wonderful. No time better than that. It's candlelight service is totally different, and it's wonderful. So those of you who aren't coming back, please have an absolutely wonderful holiday. Enjoy yourselves. Be that light wherever you go. So let's say our our mission statement together, please. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. And I did want to tell you that if you did want to, we don't have any more tickets for the 5:30, but we still have, I think, about 60 left for the 8 o'clock. So you can pick those up in the office, and they might have some up front too, but I know they have some in the office. So don't forget that. Classes start January the 4th. Dale's Untethered Soul, which is a great book. That one starts. That's $100. Dr. Joe's Beyond Limits starts on January, the 8th. And he'll have a morning and an evening, and I do believe they are live streaming that. And what else? And then Dale has another one, January the 9th, and that's an 8-week class. That's an accredited class. So if you're thinking about becoming a practitioner, this is one of the classes that will help you on that path. And I am doing a book study starting January the 9th, Tuesday. There's no homework. We read the book in the class and discuss it, and that's just a love offering. So please come to that. And then, I heard that the movie, I wasn't able to come, but I heard that the movie that Sue Powell showed on healing was fabulous. Anyway, she's doing a 4-week class, Learn the Primordial Sound Meditation, and she's certified through the Chopra Center, so that will be a fabulous class at $75. And there's our Reverend Marion and Missy, so they send their love for the holidays, and we send our love to them for the holidays. And then New Year's Eve, the Rainbow Alliance is presenting a New Year's Eve party at Laura and Annie Meek's home. So please sign up. There's a potluck, and you can sign up out front. And the office will be closed next week. Now, if you have an emergency, please call in, but don't call in to say, when does the class start? Because you might not get a call back, if it's an emergency. So please call in for that. And so we have a wonderful treat today. We have our CSL choirs here, and they're going to be singing, and just sit back, enjoy, open your hearts.
Thank you, Reverend Laura. Good morning, everybody. Happy Christmas Eve morning. What a beautiful morning it is. Are we ready? We're ready. 2, 3, and...
All right. Well, that's just a taste of things to come tonight because they're going to be performing tonight at both of the candlelight services. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, let's hear it for the band and the choir again, guys. Well, it's really funny. I was out in, I had the experience of going to the mall recently, and there's a lot of people proclaiming Jesus around there and using the Lord's name in vain and all that stuff. God, heart and spots and I'm like, well, we've really hit the reason for that season, haven't we hit it, right? So, how many of you are here for the very first time? Anyone here for the very first time? Well, welcome. We'd like to welcome you. I'm giving you a warning that this is not your normal kind of Christmas service. All right? This is kind of, if you know me, I'm kind of strange and I do weird things. So this morning we're going to tell a Christmas story, my version of the Christmas story. So it's going to be exciting. So for new people, we're not like this all the time. Take a deep breath in. One more time. Deep breath in. So today, more than any other day, I want you to visualize yourself hitting a pause button on everything that you've got to get done, everything that has yet to be done, wrapped and cooked and whatever. And just hit pause. And just stop for just a few moments. Allow yourself just to be fully present in this moment, concentrating on your breath, concentrating on the very heart that's beating you, that's allowing you to just experience this day. It's very easy to get wrapped up in the stuff that needs to be done and forget really what we're trying to give birth to tonight in our own consciousness, in our own lives. So take whatever is troubling your heart, challenges that you've faced over the year and are facing into the future, and just allow yourself in this moment to just hit the pause button and know that something greater than you is walking right with you, and that you can lean into that presence and that power whenever you like. The first step in that is always releasing control. Take a deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust you, and in your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In your presence, in this oneness, through you I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
In this season of light, I ask you to please and invite you to join me in the words that I speak, taking them as your own. I just know that there is only one power that is all existence. Everything is God. All the beauty, the serenity, the joy, and the peace of this season and throughout the year is all God. And I know that I am a perfect, complete and whole individual in the sight of God, and I am completely connected to God and all existence as is God. I am embracing peace, purity of spirit, and love and joy and serenity. And I celebrate the man that was the master teacher who embodied the Christ principle in his life, in his action, and in his words. He was a light to the world, as I wish to be a light to the world as well. And I embrace that light now in this moment. And within me, all darkness is dispersed. And I am surrounded by an aura of love and peace and serenity that I bring to everyone that comes into contact with me. And I remain in this place of peace. I am immersed in this love, and it spreads throughout the room, throughout the city, throughout the world, throughout the universe. I am a single contact point of light in this world, and I choose to let my light shine. And I am so grateful for all the people in this center, all the souls that gather together to be as one in our connection to God. And I am so grateful for Dr. Joe and Dale and Reverend Laura and all the people, Elizabeth, everyone that makes this possible, that we have a place to gather where we can worship and love as we please. We have that freedom. And I release my word now to the law, knowing with a rejoiceful heart that it is already done. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. If these words resonate with you, please join me in saying, and so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I awake in this holy silence. I hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God, we find ourselves. And I find God when I find myself. And you find God when you find yourself. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Please join me, lyrics are up front. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
I look up into the sky tonight, lost in wonder, bathed in light. I know the calm for which we stand, washed over the earth someday, a night of peace for each and everyone, east to west, sun to sun, a night of peace. I look into the stars tonight, not a single cloud in sight, and all the crosses that we bear seem small in the evening air. Hand to hand we'll walk till the day is done, east to west, sun to sun, a night of peace. It may seem such a simple thing,
Thank you, Jerry Lynn and choir. Is everybody ready for the holidays? Our Jewish friends already celebrated their season. Now we're heading into ours tonight. I normally don't use notes. So those of you who know me, I'm not really a note person, but I decided to come up with a little different spin on the Christmas story, and I got to kind of keep it straight in my mind. So you're going to see me actually refer to notes and a cough drop. Something decided to happen during my song. All right. So this is not your traditional Christmas story. I'm 54 years old. I remember when I was this high hearing the Christmas story, and I could tell it, the manger and just the whole thing. Just do the whole thing. And I thought, you know what? Once again, I want to give it just a little bit of a different take so that maybe something else will sink in that didn't sink in the other 54 times that I heard it, right? That something would be maybe just a little bit different. So a very long, long time ago, in a land called Judea, there was this woman. Her name was Mary. There was something about Mary. Something about Mary. She had this energy, It kind of reminds me, and hopefully she's watching it, Reverend Marion. If you've ever been around Reverend Marion, just to be in her presence, there's just this energy. It's not like she's doing aerobics or anything. She's not doing any cardio. She's just got this aura about her. And when you're around her, you feel really comfortable, and you crave time with her. And so this Mary was, from what I've heard, because I wasn't there, I've heard that this Mary was just like that. That she had this energy, she had this special thing about her. And so, as the story goes, the symbol of Mary should always be, in my mind, the innocence, someone who's got an energy about them, and also someone who is going to be carrying love through them and with them. So if I could be a little bit like Mary, which some people have already said I am, that would be what I would want to take away, would be that reverence for that energy and the voice that love is going to live by means of me, right? So now when you hear the Christmas story, not all the details make sense. But like every story, you kind of have to, you can't really get caught up in the details, but you have to use your imagination because, we picture, that like where the shepherds were, we see, because maybe it was on peanuts or something, we see snow all around, right? But, where this actually took place, it wouldn't be snow, it would be sand, all right? It's going to be more like sand. It's not going to be a snowy night. It's going to be like a tepid night in Temecula. Well, just kind of like a tepid night in Temecula. So, the interesting thing about this whole story is the guy Gabriel, the angel, and we talk about angels, when people refer to angels are messengers, okay, of a word of support of truth, okay? And in science of mind, we can believe in angels because they're people who come into our lives and they bring a special message to us, right? Now, interestingly enough, Gabriel decided he was going to talk to Mary one day. Now, Gabriel has an interesting past because Gabriel is also the one who talked to Muhammad and gave Muhammad the Quran. He was like the first interfaith council leader. And he doesn't get any credit, But think about it. He was telling a Jew who would now become a Christian that Jesus really doesn't know he's a Christian yet, by the way. He died a Jew. So he would be telling a Jew all about this thing that was going to happen, and then that would turn into Christianity. So Judaism lived, Christianity lived, and he also gave the word to Muhammad. So all this stuff in the Quran, all of it, kind of like the first interfaith angel. We'll call it that. All right? Are you bored? Okay, good. You got another hour. Yeah. So he spoke to her and he said, okay, look, you're married. There's something that's going to happen to you. You are going to change the world forever because you are with child. And now, I found a picture that, can you go ahead and bring the picture up for me, William? this is what Mary would have looked like today. Not to be irreverent, but that's like, in today's picture, Mary would be going, say what? I'm a young virgin woman and I'm pregnant. How am I going to explain this one away? Right? Isn't that funny? All right, so take that one down because I'll get letters about that being irreverent. So imagine she was engaged to this guy named Joseph, and she had to go home and say, hey, Joe, I know you think I'm crazy, but I was told by this angel that I am going to be carrying the Prince of Peace and love into this world. Can you imagine Joseph? I mean, now, okay. Nowadays, someone comes up and they say you're pregnant, you're like, what? But back then, you're like, whoa. Young women, single women, didn't just blurt out that they were pregnant, and that was going to be really hard to explain away in those times, right? So you can imagine the pressure on Joseph. So now we talk about Mary being the one who delivers this incredible message of love, and that we can be like Mary and deliver the message of love. Now we have to tap into Joseph. Because we got to tap into Joseph's consciousness, because here Joseph is facing a lot of pressure from his family and friends and everyone in the community, because he's going to be staying with a woman who is pregnant before they got married. Joseph was a brave man. He showed courage, compassion. He allowed this all to unfold because of a higher plan. But imagine that if we could be a little bit more like Joseph, right? We could be a little bit like Mary and compassionate and loving. We also need to be a little bit more like Joseph, because he's kind of inspired and very kind and very loyal to allowing love unfold. So what if we took a message from Mary, got that one, and now we take a message from Joseph and become a little bit more like Joseph and become a little more patient, a little more kind, really expressing our loyalty and love and our compassion to one another. And even in the face of adversity, we stick with the ones we love. Because God knows in today's world that there's a lot of opportunity to abandon ship with families and friends like that. But his loyalty is something maybe we should look into. What do you think? Yes. Yeah? So now you have Mary and Joseph. And the story could have stopped right there, because that's a really good message. I mean, before Jesus, the master teacher, was born, that could have been like, oh, okay, and scene, right? We could have done that, but it didn't happen. So the story goes that they had to go into, the government wanted everybody to be counted. They wanted a census. I think they were trying to do it because they were going to figure out what their tax basis was, sort of like what happens around here. And so, obviously, they didn't have ways to communicate like we do now. So the only thing they could do is they made a decree that everybody had to go back to where they were born and register again. So Mary and Joseph had to go back, to Nazareth. Bethlehem. She got the message in Nazareth from Gabriel, and Jesus was born in Bethlehem, so all this took place in Bethlehem, but that's inconsistency in the stories. Do we really know? But anyway, so it's 80 miles. That's an 80-mile trek. It's like going from here to Ontario Airport, all right? But the terrain isn't as smooth, right? And there are no freeways. There's no roads. There's just trails. And, Mary's now really pregnant. She's 9 months pregnant, and she has to make this trek on top of a donkey. So for you women who've been pregnant, imagine your 9th month, me tossing you on a donkey and saying, let's go ride for 80 miles. And not on a smooth track, but let's kind of try to go up to Idlewild for 80 miles. Now, women, I don't know because I've never been. Would that be a pleasant experience? No, I don't think it would be a pleasant experience if you weren't pregnant, but let alone with a child. So they get into this place called Bethlehem. And it was, for some reason, there's an energy about Bethlehem, and there's no room in the inn, kind of like Coachella. You know, when you kind of drive out for Coachella weekend, maybe none of you would really know about that, but there's this energy at Stagecoach or, Coachella, and there's this energy. So imagine this vibration in the city that there's something exciting's going to happen. And no one really knows what it is, but there's a buzz. But there's no rooms anywhere. Everything's booked up. And so here Joseph has this pregnant wife who just went 80 miles on a donkey, right? And imagine the desperation of Joseph, who's a kind, loving, loyal, compassionate guy. Imagine him going, oh man, no reservation, no room, no nothing. So now imagine, he's like like one of the people we see on a street corner asking people, is there a place for us to stay? And people said no. There were people like, no, I don't know you. So I'm not going to let you stay, with me. I don't know you. So what's the message there? That here, this woman, this pregnant woman, is about to give birth to the Prince of Peace, and they can't find a room because no one knows them and no one trusts them. What kind of a human message is that kind of in our life? When we look around at the world around us and we start placing judgments and start talking about the story of another person even though we really don't know the whole story. We prejudge people. So maybe just this venture, this part of the story talks about the venture of allowing ourselves to rid ourselves of judgment on appearances. Okay? So that's the first part of finding a place to stay. Then the second part is finally someone said, okay, you can stay in my barn, which in today's it would be like staying in the garage, all right, except there were animals there. Now, what could be the symbology of that? What could be the symbology of, yes, you can stay, but you can't stay where there's a bed, but you can stay in my garage? Think about the symbology of that. Are you with me? Or are you all going, I have no idea what that could mean? What it could mean is this. They weren't at the Ritz-Carlton to give birth to baby Jesus. They were giving birth. This birth would happen in a place that you would never expect. Which means this. Wonderful things happen in places you would never expect. In your own life, the simplicity of something that may appear one way could actually be a stepstone to something that could be magnificent in your life if you would reframe what it looks like. Does that make sense? Is this a different Christmas story? Are you good? Yeah. It gets better. All right? So they hunker down in this garage for the night, and that buzz that something's happening is going out into the fields of Temecula. And let's just say there was this message that came to the shepherds, and the shepherds were told, hey, look, something's going down in Bethlehem, and you need to get down there and witness this, because it's going to be really special. So imagine if I came up to you and I said, hey, you know what? Something's going down over in Indio. Let's go. And you'd go, follow the Eastern Star, right? You'd be off to India, you'd go. But you'd get excited about it. And so the shepherds, now they were invited to become part of this. And why do you think the shepherds were invited and not the mayor or the leader, right? No, seriously, why would the shepherds be called to witness this and not the kings and the powerful people that lived in that community that resided there? No, I'll go with a different angle. This was meant to symbolize that you didn't have to be powerful, but the message was for the person who would be, because the shepherds were considered financially and otherwise the lowest of low, right? The poorest of poor. And so the message would be, this message just isn't for the people in power, this is for all people. Are you with me? So now we have a message that goes to all people, not just a certain group of people, but it's going to be available to all people if there's an openness about that with you, okay? So that was one segment. So the shepherds go down and they're like hanging out watching this thing. And then in other countries close by, these wise men, meaning kind of like scientists, were looking out in the galaxy and they saw this bright star. And they're like, wait, this is unusual. Now, again, this is a story. This is a story. I don't know if it was true. I wasn't there. But like last week, or did you see that thing shooting through the air? And who could make up a story around that? Right? I mean, this is all news, right? So they saw this thing in the galaxy and they thought, wow, you know what? There's something over there. Maybe we should walk in that direction, see what's going on. Well, and hey, by the way, we're the kings, we're the smart ones, so we better take some loot with us because we just don't know what we're going to need to, barter or trade or need. Think about it. You wouldn't go on a trip without a credit card, right? This was their power. This was their gift. This was what they had to offer. All right? So, off the wise men go, right? The wise men and the kings, they go off to this from foreign lands. Now, what else could that represent? Because it's not just a story of them going, but there's a message behind why they were called to go. So my message to that would be this. This situation didn't know anything about borders or nationality. It just knew that it was love unfolding. In today's world, we have borders, we have nationalities, we have cultures, we have religions. We've basically sliced up what should have been a universal message of love, and we've sliced it up. But if you go back to what the message was at the beginning, it may have been, and now again, I wasn't there, but could it be that this message was meant for everyone to be loving, to allow love in, to allow the message of not just Jesus, the master teacher, the greatest example in my opinion, but to also allow Mary's message to come in, and Joseph's message to come in, and the shepherds, because you didn't have to be loaded and rich to get into that place. So imagine, if you would, that you had all this available to you. What would that feel like? What would that feel like? Maybe that is a message that we can take for ourselves. Instead of just the traditional Christmas story where we see the animals going in and we see, all that stuff. All right, so something was going to happen in the world. Goodness is going to come into the world. It's not bound by race, geography, nationality. It's for everyone. The interesting thing is that the wise men had to read the signs. Read the signs to know what to do. Folks, I think there's a gazillion signs that we are looking at right now in today's world. And I think, this is just the gospel according to Joe, whatever that means, right? I think that the discourse that we kind of feel in the world is a discourse that may have been felt back then when an opportunity rose to bring love into the forefront in a different way. So from that chaos and from those things that were going on at the time, maybe, just maybe, there might be a parallel in our world today that says, hey, love is being born in this moment. And the thing is, it doesn't have to come in a garage in Temecula, in a manger. It just has to come by means of you and me. See, the funny thing is, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but the funny thing is, this is not about finding peace. This is not about discovering peace. This isn't about finding love or discovering love. It's about revealing what has always been there, that we have forgotten the story of how to deliver that in life. That we get wrapped up in the scenery of things, in the appearances of things, and that doesn't mean there's not cause to get upset. I get it. I get upset too. But maybe, just maybe, love is trying to make its way known, and it is if we allow it to. And the vehicle by which it comes doesn't have to be a person. I think it's a movement. I think it's an energy. I think it's something that happens in spiritual community. I think we have it right here in this very room and people joining us on the live stream. I think that we have what it takes to create a culture where the Marys and the Josephs and the teachings and the symbology of all of this can come together and actually create a world that does work for everyone. That ignores the borders and the culture things and just sees love as being love and allowing love to happen. Now, I'm probably really Pollyanna about that, but I also think that, you know what, if you don't shoot for the stars, you're not going to even go anywhere. But we have to at least shoot for that. And I think the message is pretty clear. The message is pretty clear. I want to be more like Mary. I want to be more like Joseph. I like the fact that it wasn't the shepherds, but the kings and the shepherds and the wise men and all these people eventually showed up together. And there was this unity among all people, and there was a message of love that was delivered by ways that no one would have ever thought possible. I mean, who would have ever thought that would have happened? Now, this is a story. This is a story, and it may be true. Parts of it may be true. Parts of it may not be true. I wasn't there. We don't know. But we can certainly look at it as examples of things we can do in our own world so that tonight, as this Christmas thing sets in, as Christmas Eve comes to a close and Christmas Day happens, and you're getting the ham out and putting all the presents out and all that stuff, and laughing about stuff and having a little eggnog with the little whatever you put into it. Good for you. Whenever that happens, let us not. Again, I feel like those old-time ministers going, let's remember the reason for the season, but let love be in your mind. Let love be in your hearts. Let love be in your words. And let's make an effort to actually give birth to something today that you have to give birth to. You as an individual were made in the image and likeness of God the way Jesus, the master teacher, was made in the image and likeness of God, and everything that Jesus had, you have at your disposal. Now, whether you're using that or not, whether we're using that to our maximum capabilities, we'll never know. I could probably say the answer is probably no for most of us, because we get involved in the world around us and then we forget to remind ourselves that we too are children of God. Does this make sense? Yes. And that you are a messenger. You are a messenger. Trust me, you are a messenger to somebody. And there may be a lot of bodies listening to you. And it doesn't matter what their religious background is. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter. Look at Gabriel. Let's be like Gabriel. Let's be a walking interfaith council where we don't judge what happens on a street corner in a church. You may have had a bad experience in a church growing up or whenever. You may have had a bad experience, but think about that. That doesn't have to define your future of spirituality and of a connection to what we're talking about here today. You can release that, let it go, and allow yourselves to be born into a new adventure of church, of spirituality, of a center, of your own goodness coming forward. This is a unique opportunity, and it's kind of weird that we only do it one day out of the year. We talk about that, and then there's Easter, right? Renewal, and okay. But maybe we need to be reminded a little bit more to be more like those people that were in the scenes here, and to look at what was around them and understand that it doesn't have to take place in some far off land. It takes place right here in your garage in Temecula. And maybe, just maybe, we can be a little bit more like these other people in the story. And maybe, just maybe, this year we can make a difference. If you make a difference in just one person's life, there's probably 250 people in this room right now. That would mean 250 more people. That would mean 500 people have a new message. And if you could convince those other 250 to teach 250, and you teach another 250, next thing you know, we have 1,000 people who are coming from a place where we're stopping the conversations where people are criticizing people of other religions and cultures because it's the hip thing to do. Wow, I feel like a preacher behind this thing. Not sure I like that. So, today and every day, but more today than anything. And tonight I'm going to go deeper. I'm not going to tell the Christmas story tonight. I'm going to tell a different story tonight. So you get a different service. But today, let us just think and know that we can be part of that process. That you are the very living, breathing part of this process. That you too are a manifestation of that which is magnificent, and that within you is the very light that Mary had, that Joseph had, that Jesus had, that Gabriel had, that the shepherds had, that the wise men had. You have a bit of that within everyone has that within all of us. Let's tap into that. Let's make this a different holiday. Still enjoy your stuff. Still enjoy doing all the stuff you're going to do. But maybe just take 1 minute in the next 24 hours to reflect on that idea. You good? All right. I think that ends your Christmas lesson. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, there was the light there, huh? That rocket ship. All right. Yeah, that was pretty. Wow. All right, so I invite our ushers to come forward for the sacred part of our service where we give back, where we recognize that we are the gift and that we pass that gift forward. So those of you that are live streaming, there's a donate button there that you can donate, or you can also text your offering. So let us together, as we prepare to go within and to share in gratitude that which we have, let's say our offertory prayer together, please. I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
We're going to be singing, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
So let's put up our hands up. I know, it's wonderful to sing, isn't it? So let's just put up our hands and bless our offerings as we say our prayer, please. This collective offering is spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you. Thank you, Francine. All right, at this time, those of you that are here for the first time, would you please stand up? We have a gift for you, and we'd love to welcome you. Welcome, welcome. So what we're giving you is a CD holder with information about who we are. And please stop by the foyer table there and pick up your gift, which is a couple of talks from Dr. Joe's. And so we welcome you, and please come back and enjoy your holiday. This is our part of our prayer team that is over in the building over there called the Om Room, and they are there to do any prayers for you. So if you're going through something or you want to set an intention, that's a powerful team over there that will help you with that. We'll pray with you. There's really not much going on this week, but there's still the Sacred Circle on Thursday and Kathy Dugood's class on Friday. So remember, the office is closed. If you still would like to come tonight for the 8 o'clock, please pick up your little cards so you can get in early and get a seat. So I wish you all a happy holiday and joyous time. So let us go within. So we take that message today to heart that Dr. Joe shared with us. And we recognize that there is a part of Joseph, a part of Mary, a part of the shepherds, the wise men. And that we recognize that the message tonight and always is about love. And that is what we came here for. So especially this evening, we recognize and we know that that light that Jesus, the Master Teacher, symbolizes is the light that is within each one of us. And so we allow that light to come forth, and we recognize that we are a gift to the world. And so we live to that potential. We live in that awareness of our oneness with that divine intelligence, with the Mother, Father, God that is within each and every one of us. And so knowing this, knowing that we are all blessed and we are here to bless the world, I just say thank you. Thank you for each person, for Dr. Joe and his wisdom and his message, for our beautiful music department that inspires us and opens our heart, for all our volunteers that make this service perform and work so wonderfully, and for our congregation that supports and takes this message with them and out into the world. And so I know and I bless each and every one of you, knowing that Spirit's light is surrounding and guiding you, and that this is the truth. And please join me as we say together, and so it is. Amen. Many blessings to you this week.
Get just what